The women who get promoted are not the hardest workers. And deep down, you already know that. You have watched it happen. The woman who stayed until 9 at night, who had the best numbers on the team, who sent the most thoughtful follow-ups, passed over again. And the person who got the promotion, you know exactly who I mean. Here's the part nobody says out loud. It was not luck. It was not bias, not entirely. It was a game, and she knew the rules. You were never taught them. Nobody was. Not in school, not in your onboarding, not by the mentor who told you to just keep doing great work. That advice was quietly costing you everything. I'm going to show you 5 rules today, rules that explain every promotion you did not get, every idea that got taken, every room you were left out of. And once you see them, you will not be able to unsee them. Stay with me. This one is going to change how you walk into every meeting for the rest of your career. Her name was Maya, senior project manager, MBA from a school that cost more than most people's first homes. The kind of woman who arrives to meetings 5 minutes early with a printed agenda, color-coded, laminated, probably smelling faintly of ambition and expensive coffee. She was, by every measurable standard, the best person on her team. But here's the part that is going to sound painfully familiar. Every time a leadership spot opened up, it went to someone else. Not someone smarter, not someone with better results, not someone who worked harder, just someone who knew something she did not. And one afternoon, after the 4th promotion slipped through her fingers, Maya sat in her car in a dim parking garage, heels off, radio off, mascara doing what mascara does after a long Tuesday, and she asked herself one question: am I playing the wrong game? She was, and so are you. You were taught that work speaks for itself, that if you were talented, disciplined, and kept your head down, the right people would eventually notice. That office politics was for people who could not compete on actual merit. That story was costing you a fortune, not a malicious story. Nobody sat down and designed it to hold you back. Powerlessness corrupts. Not power. Powerlessness. When you decide you're above office politics, you do not become neutral. You become invisible. You become the person whose ideas get quietly absorbed into someone else's presentation, whose name never comes up in the conversations that actually matter. Not playing office politics is not noble. It just means you lose by default. But here is what nobody tells you next. Winning this game does not require you to become someone unrecognizable. It requires 5 rules, the same 5 rules Maya learned, one parking garage moment at a time. Rule 1, the boss always wins, so stop fighting them. Maya had a boss named David, and before you picture some dramatic villain, David was not evil. He was just spectacularly average. Maya, who had more talent in one spreadsheet than David had in his entire career, could not help herself. She corrected his numbers in meetings, gently, professionally, with the warm, barely concealed energy of someone who's been very patient for a very long time. She thought she was demonstrating competence. She was making an enemy. Here is what happens inside a human being when you make them feel inferior. Fear activates, and when fear activates, people do not become more rational, they become less. You might be the smartest person in that room. Your boss still controls your performance review, your raise, your path forward. That is not unfair. That is just how the architecture works. So Maya shifted. She stopped trying to prove David wrong and started finding ways to make David look right in front of the people who mattered to him. And within 6 months, David became her loudest champion in every room she was not in. He did not get smarter. She got strategic. You do not have to like the person you are helping win. You just have to understand that their win can be the ladder you climb. Rule 2, your reputation is your real resume. Here is a question that never gets asked at a performance review. What do people say about you when you are not in the room? Because that conversation is happening right now, in someone's office, over someone's lunch. Your name is being mentioned, and the question is what comes after it. She leaned in just slightly, the way you do when you hear your name from across a room. Maya? Solid, dependable, great at execution. And then the other one nodded and said something that changed everything. Yeah. Not sure she is leadership material, though. Nobody had ever said that to her face, but they had already decided. Here is the rule: your actual work matters. But the story people tell about your work matters more. We are not logical beings. We are narrative beings. We do not process data. We process meaning. So the question is not only am I doing good work, the question is what story is my work telling about me? Maya started being intentional. She stopped letting other people narrate her contributions and started writing the story herself. Clean follow-ups after every win, context around every result, making sure the right people saw the right things at the right moments. She was not bragging. She was just making sure nobody else got to write her story before she did. Rule 3, make it look effortless. This rule is going to frustrate you a little bit, and I want you to stay with it anyway. Visibly working hard might be hurting your career. She started wearing her exhaustion like a badge of honor. Emails at midnight, weekend check-ins, that slightly hollow look of someone who has not slept properly since the previous quarter. She thought she was signaling commitment. She was signaling something else entirely. If she has to work that hard just to keep up, is she really ready for more responsibility? The energy of exhaustion looks like drowning. The energy of mastery looks like calm. Find that intersection, own it completely. That is where your power lives. Rule 4, you cannot win alone. For 3 solid years, Maya operated like a lone wolf, head down, work brilliant, trust the results, and she was producing results, real ones. Because decisions about your career are not made in your performance review. They are made in conversations you're not part of, in the coffee run before the big meeting, in the group chat she was not in. Over dinner she did not even know was happening. Maya started building 3 networks deliberately, the people who help her get today's work done, the people who help her see what is coming before it arrives, and the people who open doors she did not even know existed. And the lesson that changed everything for her was this: you do not get to only invest in people you naturally like. You have to intentionally build relationships with the people who can change your trajectory, whether or not you would choose them for a coffee on a Sunday morning. Decision makers need to know you, like you, and understand exactly how being associated with you benefits them. Think about 3 people right now who have real influence over your future. When did you last build that bridge? The colleague who presented her idea as his own? That was not about Maya. That was about his fear of being irrelevant. The boss who kept overlooking her? Not about her value, about his deep, quiet need to feel secure. The team that left her out of the important conversations? Nothing to do with her worth, everything to do with their own need for control. None of it was ever about her. And the moment she truly understood that, she stopped reacting and started responding. She started running one silent question through her head before every interaction. What is in it for them? What does this person fear? What do they need to feel safe? What are they trying to protect? When you understand the person across from you at that level, you stop feeling like a threat to them. You start feeling like an asset. And here's the quiet truth about human nature. People protect what they find valuable. So let us go back to that parking garage. Maya, sitting in her car, heels off, 4th promotion gone, asking herself the question that was about to change everything. Am I playing the wrong game? Yes, she was, but not anymore. Now when Maya walks into that conference room, she sees the whole board, she sees the alliances and the narratives and the quiet power moves that used to feel invisible, and she does not see them with bitterness. She sees them with clarity. She makes her boss look good, not because he has earned it, but because it opens doors she wants to walk through. She manages her reputation, not to perform for anyone, but because her story belongs to her, and she is the one telling it. The 5th promotion, it was hers, not because she became somebody different, because she finally understood the game she had been playing all along. You know this feeling. The quiet sting of watching someone else get the credit, the exhaustion of doing everything right and still feeling invisible. That was not failure. That was the moment, right? And this is the shift. Share this with the smartest woman you know who keeps being overlooked, because the more of us who understand these rules, the faster we change the game for all of us. I will see you in the next one.